Yo, what's going on, guys? TDS dropped a new update called the Ducky's Revenge. This is the 2025 Duck Hunt event, and it includes a new event tower, new skins, and an entirely new event game mode. I'd also like to mention these new things called milestones. After beating hard mode, you'll be rewarded with a milestone award. And if you wait 3 days, then beat hard mode again, you'll be rewarded with the second milestone reward. And then so on for the third. One last thing I'd like to mention is that you have to beat easy mode before you can play hard mode. So make sure you complete easy mode first. Now let's get into the review. Oh boy, this is gonna be crazy. My first attempt at easy mode was not too bad. We got pretty far, but we ended up dying. I also wanted to mention the game where I did win easy mode, I didn't record because I was getting tired of losing, so yeah, let's just move on to hard mode. Coming from just beating easy mode and not watching any videos of people beating hard mode made me think that hard mode isn't that bad, but then I realized that it was a 4-lane map. And yeah, let's just take a look at what happened here. I am literally not exaggerating. This is probably one of the hardest events in TDS history. Loss after loss after loss after loss. Rearranging my loadout. Nothing was working. I was literally on the verge of going insane because of a duck. Look at all the footage I deleted because I lost. And just when I thought all was lost, I had a breakthrough. One of my old friends that had helped me beat Badlands during my beginning phases in TDS had joined my game. I think he remembered me, and I asked him to help me beat the Duck Hunt event, and he agreed, saying that he will try. With this newfound help, I got my other friend that I've been recently trying with into my party, and we started our run. We loaded in, and I placed an electroshocker while my other teammate did a pyromancer on the other side. The first 3 waves weren't all too bad, as I was just balancing out my electroshockers. And on wave 5, I ended up placing down a Rocketeer. I ended up just focusing on Rocketeers until I maxed all of them. Wave 11, the flying enemies arrived, but we had some mortars and golden crook bosses to counter that, so we were okay. On wave 14, I placed 2 commanders and began to command chain. While my teammates were doing pursuits and mortars, I started to focus on some single target DPS, golden minigunner. 5 waves later on wave 25, these massive commander duckies came out, each having about 26,000 health. This wave was pretty scary, and I was just running around back and forth checking on the health to see if we were able to take down the commander duckies. But of course, this wouldn't be a breakthrough if we didn't make it to the last wave. And that very next wave, I was finished maxing out my Rocketeers and I placed my first pursuit. While I was placing pursuits, I was making sure that all the pursuits were evened out on each side, having 5 on each side. A little bit of frantically running around later, and some close calls, we made it to the 30th wave, the first boss fight. Ducky Doom was back, but we were prepared. I moved all my pursuits to the same side Ducky was on, and we took him down. Wave 31, Ducky units were introduced, but we took them down with ease. Finally, we reached wave 33. The nerd Ducky and his mech made his appearance, and oh my gosh, my heart was beating 1,000,000 miles an hour. Oh yeah, also the nerd Ducky can jump tracks, so just make sure you move your pursuits if you brought it. Pursuit is the best tower for this, in my opinion. I also had a moment where I forgot to move my pursuits, so I think that's the reason why we lost. 5 million eons later, I finally ended up moving pursuits because I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot to move my pursuits to hit the boss. Bruh, the nerd Ducky still had ungodly amounts of health left. Then he jumped and I moved all my pursuits as quick as I could. But our attempts were futile as the bunny entered our base and we lost. At this point, I was on the verge of crashing out, and my friend said that he had to go, so I took a break. I would not be lying to you if I said that this had been taking 2 days to beat. I really wanted to make content and beat this, and I was starting to question if I was capable enough. That was until I got into this specific game. This was my third attempt after taking a break. I had the same exact loadout, and I joined these guys that seemed to know what they were doing, as they brought Biologist, the tower that I was trying to acquire. A couple waves in, I asked the guy who brought Biologist if he beat the game already, because I just wanted to see if he just bought it or not. And he said that this was his 10th time beating this game. Wow. I got very lucky. Sorry if the text is kind of blurry, but here's the proof. I'm just gonna skip over to the boss fights and let you see what happens. On wave 30, we had our face-off with Ducky Doom. And now it was just the nerd duck standing between me and content creation. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was how I beat the Duck Hunt event. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that Nerd Ducky dies.